7.5, we were talking about trapezoids. Tomorrow we're going to do short notes on kites, and then I'm going to give you your quadrilateral flip book, which you can, it will review for you. So, and then you can use it on test. So whatever you write on that quadrilateral flip book, you can use for test day. You'll have a Delta Math review. Whatever you want to write on the quadrilateral flip book, you can do, and then use it on test day. Your test is on Thursday. In your notes, we are on 7.5, which is right here, not the thing that I asked you to pick up. This is notes 7.5. So the notes that I had you pick up, I forgot to get copied and put in here. So that's why they just didn't make it in the packet on accident. Okay, here we go. So this whole unit has been talking about quadrilaterals, and today we're talking about trapezoids. First of all, does it have 4 sides? Yes, it does. Is it a parallelogram? No. What makes something a parallelogram? 2 sets of parallel sides. And a trapezoid, you can see, only has 1 set of parallel sides, so it does not fall within.
Please excuse the interruption. At this time, please release the junior varsity baseball team. Let's go. Thank you.
Oh, homework, you guys.
Hey, White, good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, what about me? Why would you ask? Yeah, but like, I was actually coming in calling. Hey, Brady, why aren't you calling?
Brady's better.
Thank you, honey.
Brady's good.
Okay.
Pocket.
So this is a quadrilateral, but it's not part of the parallelogram world, okay? So these are just other quadrilaterals. So within the big bubble of quadrilaterals, we have a bunch of parallelogram types, special parallelograms, and then we've got this other group that, in this case, just have 1 pair of parallel sides. So we have these parallel sides here, and because of the parallel lines, we do get some supplementary angles. So, for instance, if this is 90 degrees, what's this angle down here? 90 degrees as well. And over here, these angles that are between the parallel lines, they are also supplementary. So if this one is 100 degrees, what's this one down here? 80. Very good. Okay. So regular trapezoids really only have supplementary angles between the parallel lines. But we do have isosceles trapezoids. What does isosceles mean? 2 congruent legs in this case. So here they have them marked. These are the congruent legs. So the trapezoid has a couple of special names. So these would be called the legs of the trapezoid. And then we also have 2 bases. So this you might call the upper base and then the lower base. Base 1 and base 2, if you will. But they have legs and they have bases. The bases are always those things that happen to be parallel to each other, okay? So we have congruent legs, and so that's what this one says. It turns out that the diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid are also congruent. And here's the big thing, the base angles are congruent. Just like in a triangle, if you have 2 congruent sides, then you also have 2 congruent base angles. Well, the same is true in a trapezoid. You can imagine it's just a triangle that I'm going to cut off halfway through, okay? So we have two congruent legs. These base angles are congruent. And also the upper base angles are congruent. So we get lots of congruent angles when we have an isosceles trapezoid. Plain old trapezoids are not so interesting. So let's look at number one. This is a regular old trapezoid with one pair of parallel sides. So the only thing we really know here is that our angles between the parallel lines are supplementary. So how do we find angle M? (180 minus 87). So what do we get? 93. And then how do we find angle K? 180 minus 51. Very good, which is 129. Thank you very much. So again, between the parallel lines, we get things that are supplementary. What about number 4? We want to find the measure of angle R. What are we going to do to solve in this one? They add and equal 180. Again, we have parallel lines, so the angles between the parallel lines are supplementary. So 12x plus 3 plus 7x minus 13 equals 180. I'm going to combine my like terms. That's 19x's positive 3 and negative 13 is negative 10 equals 180. What do I do next? Add 10, so we get 19x equals 190, and then divide by 19, we get x equals 10. Great. And so the measure of angle R is 57. 7 times 10 minus 13, 57 degrees. Fantastic. Okay, so those are just regular trapezoids. All we really have is that things are supplementary. But when we get down to isosceles trapezoids, we have a lot more going on, a lot more to pay attention to. Okay? So DEFG is an isosceles trapezoid. So if it's an isosceles trapezoid, what should I mark on my picture? What about the legs? Yeah, the legs are congruent. All right. So segment DG is congruent to EF. Segment EF. Those legs are congruent. DF is the diagonal. What is it congruent to? EG, the other diagonal, EG. So segment EG. Okay. Now, TUVW is also an isosceles trapezoid. What should I mark on my picture? The legs are congruent. Mark those legs. Also in an isosceles trapezoid, angle T is congruent to angle T is congruent to angle U. The upper base angles are congruent, and angle V is congruent to W. The lower base angles are congruent. So angle U and angle W. Let's look at number 7. What do these markings tell me right here? Isosceles. This is telling me it's isosceles, which means 112. Angle P is congruent to Q. Q is also 112 degrees. And then how do we figure out angle R? Subtract from 180. Good. Again, between the parallel lines, we know that they are supplementary. So this angle R would be 180 minus 112, which is 68. And what's angle S? Also 68, because the base angles are congruent. Very good. Any questions for me? Pretty easy, yeah? Not too bad. Let's turn the page. We're not going to do all of these. We're just going to set them up. So let's look at number 11. Again, JKLM is isosceles. Tell me about the angles that they've given us here. They're supplementary, very good. Because they're between those parallel lines, they are supplementary. So 10x minus 33 plus 4x plus 17 equals 180 degrees. And then you could solve from there, right? But we don't need to do it, because I trust you know how to do this by now. Ooh, baby. Let's look at number 12. Again, WXYZ is isosceles. So how are we going to figure this one out? What's our setup? They equal 180? X and W are congruent. Okay. So if W is 10x plus 5, then X is also 10x plus 5 degrees, which means? Good. 10x plus 5 plus 6x minus 1 also equals 180. Those angles are between the parallel lines. They are supplementary. Last one, well, not last one, 13. They equal each other, yeah. Again, we have an isosceles trapezoid, which means the base angles are congruent. So 21x minus 16 equals 18x plus 5. Okay? Questions on those? All right. Now to the page that I handed out. If you just fold the corner, then you can slip it inside with your notes here. So just like fold the corner back a little bit like that, and then you'll be able to just put it inside your notes. Just didn't make the packet. So really quick, we're going to talk about the mid-segment. We've talked about a mid-segment before when we had triangles, the mid-segment of a triangle. This is the same idea. Again, you can imagine that this is a triangle with the top just chopped off, okay? So the mid-segment of a trapezoid connects midpoints of the legs. So E is the midpoint. It cut AD into two equal parts. And F is a midpoint, and so we call this the mid-segment, okay? The mid-segment has some very special properties. First, the top and the bottom are parallel. What do you suppose, is the mid-segment also parallel? No. It is. Yeah, it is. AB segment AB is parallel to EF and is parallel to DC. All three segments are parallel to one another, so we get lots of parallel lines. And then the mid-segment, EF, is the length of the mid-segment is the average of the bases. Adding the bases together and dividing by 2. So AB plus DC divided by 2. It's just in the middle of the two bases. The length is in the middle. All right, so it's just an average of the bases. And this is what we're using mostly for these questions. AB top plus bottom over 2. So here, use the trapezoid above for questions 1 through 4. If AB is 14 and DC is 26, we want to find the length of EF. How do we figure out EF? Add and divide by 2. Top plus bottom divided by 2. 40 divided by 2 is? 20. Forgot to carry the 1. 20. All right. Now, this one's rearranged a little bit. We have EF. which is our mid-segment. So I'm going to go our mid-segment equals top plus bottom. So AB plus the bottom DC, which is 38. AB plus DC divided by 2. What should I do with this divide by 2? Multiply it to, yeah, you can imagine putting a 1 under the 22, and then it's just sort of like cross-multiplying. But really, we just need to multiply that 2. So we get 44 equals AB plus 38. And how do you get AB by itself? Minus 38. So AB equals 6. All right. Let's look at number 5, and then we're done. So Y and Z are the midpoints of the legs, which means this is a mid-segment. And I just need to do the setup here. So my mid-segment, 5x minus 19 equals something plus something over 2. What should we add? 38 plus x plus 14. Top plus bottom over 2. What do I do with this divide by 2? Yeah, cross multiply. And remember, we have to multiply the entire left-hand side. So 5x minus 19 is going to get doubled, and what does it turn into? Good. 10x minus 38 equals? I'm going to go with x plus 38 plus 14 is 52. And then I'm going to go ahead and subtract an x. I'm going to add 38. 10x minus 1x is 9x's equals 90, which means x equals 10. And then I need to find yz. So I'm going to plug it right back in. 5 times 10 minus 19. 31. There you go. All right, questions for me. You guys should have plenty of time to get this homework done. When you're done.
I did not steal your phone.
Oh, of course.
Number 16. Oh, maybe number 23. Someone was looking for that. Vic was looking for it earlier.
I don't know where 16 is. Yeah. You can use the restroom.
I was looking for them, where I had them in here. I have to go through my math section.
You can go, Sharon. You can go.
Vic? Like Vic Brianna? Someone on his anniversary?
Get it done and turn it in. The answers up front. Please check your answers as you go. Oh, forgot. forgot to stop the video.